Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Jin Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm One Jin.
We're going to talk about House of the Dragon episode 9 today. Spoilers ahead. Full spoilers for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon up to now. You have been warned. First of all, I want to thank the reply by Religious, I think, for the nice comment, nice recap. Thank you so much. We will remember you when we become a bigger channel. And Wonjin has privately told me that he will buy everybody a tablet, iPad latest. So please remember that.
Just in case this actually becomes a big channel, that is not true. What he said is completely false, fabricated. I did not say such thing.
That in spirit, it's true.
In spirit, it's true.
In spirit.
Of course, I want the best for all of you, for all the supporters. But anyways, let's get into it.
Yeah. Hey, Wonjin, let me go first. I want to actually... I was wrong for a lot of things, and I think I was right on some things, too. I was wrong about Aemond. I was wrong. I'm glad that... You know, this episode felt like Season 2, Episode 9 of Game of Thrones.
Okay, can you remind us what that episode was
That's
about?
the Stannis invasion.
Oh.
Yeah, because remember, that was completely about that.
You mean the invasion of Stannis
of King's Landing, and where Tyrion gets hurt. I'm glad they made this decision. And you know what? After watching this, now that we're with the Green Council, as the episode is titled, I just assumed that the last episode will also be about the Black Council of Rhaenyra, like completely. So I think that
makes sense.
Yeah, they're structuring it that way. And the reason why I believe that so is because Rhaenys is sort of a... She's on Rhaenyra's side, but she's also a third force. And Rhaenys I liked because I've been saying that she's really regal, and here she like Viserys showed a lot of dignity. I felt a lot of class that some of these younger Targaryens don't have. But we'll get to that later. But what I was trying to say was we got to see a lot of different sides of different people here, like unexpectedly. And I especially loved Aemond's side because I assumed that he was a psychopathic killer. I still think that he is a killer, like Daemon. But like Daemon, we see a lot of insecurities here. A lot of insecurities. Because Daemon has scenes where, like, we as an audience get to see him vulnerable that the people there don't. Remember, like, he wanted, like, in the earlier episodes, he was with a White Worm, and then and then he was like all dejected, and White Worm was like, "Oh, your brother will like recognize you or whatever." We get that here too. Aemond, he calls himself a good soldier. Here I am
studying history
and philosophy, and then he basically says, "My brother's a motherfucker. Fuck that guy. If
anybody deserves the throne, it's me." That's what he's basically saying.
Yeah. I really enjoyed his duo with Criston Cole. I enjoyed that more than the twins part. Because
what's his name, Sir Erryk?
Erryk and Erryk. But Erryk and Erryk, I like the casting of twins because I assume that one of them is going to defect to Rhaenyra now. Yeah, so I think they intentionally chose twins to show that this is a really gray thing. Because both of them are making arguments that,
while they're looking for Aegon, they say a lot of like dangerous things.
Yeah, like, you know, back and forth, but it symbolizes how like green and black like sides have their own story, and it's really hard for us as an audience too, because twins are, you know, they're used as a symbol of the same person a lot in these shows, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great dramatic device because we're not really meant to like really delve into their personalities. It's just that same people can have completely two opposing views about the situation. That was fascinating. But Criston Cole, I like how he's like completely unaware how much of a hypocrite he is, because he says like, when Aemond is like, "Yo, my brother took me to these whorehouses," and then Criston Cole's like, "Oh, every woman is talked about like the mother, you know, with reverence." I was like, "Motherfucker, you called Rhaenyra a cunt last time in front of the queen.
You used the C word."
Yeah, and did it? Oh shit, I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm so glad we're a small channel. But and also he just straight up murdered a lord.
That's right.
Like a minister.
Uh-huh.
Basically a master of whatever is like a minister in like equivalent.
And he's just a mere Kingsguard.
Yeah. Oh, and your favorite character, I know you're going to like that scene. What's his Lord Commander.
Yes, I knew that he was a straight up person.
Oh yeah,
I love that man.
Oh yeah, Barristan Selmy moment.
Yes, absolute Barristan Selmy moment. I was seeing a lot of overlap. I love the part where he just like takes off his cape.
Yeah,
and he says, "I'm the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and until there is one." No one may. What did he say? No one may
order me around.
Yeah, order me around.
I only answer to the king.
And we can clearly tell that he's not happy with what's going on in the Green Council, but he doesn't say he doesn't blatantly oppose what they're like plotting. I love how graceful he was about refusing to act on their behalf.
You know what that theme is? That theme mirrors what Alicent actually says. Alicent says to her father, the unwillingness to commit murder is not a weakness. And that's actually, what's interesting is, that's what Rhaenys and Sir Westerling, I think his name is, does. Because his rejection is a moral judgment. He doesn't go violent, like, because I love how the camera pans to Criston Cole, and he's like, fucking shameful face. Oh fuck, I'm ashamed, but I'm gonna keep my cool. It's like comparing a thug who thinks he's doing the right thing to him, and it goes. Oh, I was gonna talk about this later, but I have to say this: that line by Alicent like pulled the series together, because that's the reason why Rhaenys decided not to burn them.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah,
because we can clearly see. I mean, the camera gives us enough time, and we can also see from the way that Alicent behaves in front of the dragon, and the look that they have, that they know what's coming. They expect that breath of fire to just consume them. But Rhaenys just flies away.
Yeah.
And like you said, it shows that they still have class.
Yeah. I mean, she does, and in a way, her not burning them is a show of strength. I felt. I mean, this is up to interpretation, by the way. You could argue that, because they had that prior conversation about being women in this society.
Yes.
And you also...
Like, haven't you dreamt of sitting on the Iron Throne?
And Alicent also says a lot of truth to her, actually. Aren't you a victim of whatever? Your children are all dead. Rhaenyra did nothing for you. Your husband's desire for legacy is fucking you up.
And which surprises Rhaenys, because she says that you're a lot wiser than I thought you were.
Yeah. And that also reminded me of Rhaenyra's like plea to Rhaenys in the earlier episode, because it seems like Alicent and Rhaenyra, we talked. See, this is what I was right about. Remember how the last episode they penned on Rhaenys so much, like, because she's like, and it's interesting that both Rhaenyra and Alicent make desperate attempts to her to gain her support. So she is on Rhaenyra's side, but she is sort of a third force in my view.
She's acting on her own calculation.
Yeah, and her dragon looks like the dragon we know. I think, like up to now, like all these dragons look different from Drogon and all, but this one looks like Drogon.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, the classic one. Right. That's how I felt.
I thought her dragon was a little more badass, because around the neck it has all these like thorns coming out.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, she's the one that looks most like a dinosaur, and she looks like a different breed too. She has like Drogon looking body, like the regular dragon, and she's so fast. But I like how I hope they show this, but I do think like mature writers are better attuned to the dragons, because you know how Craxys and Daemon are basically one person.
Yeah,
I felt that here too. I felt a lot of connection, because her roaring but not spitting fire is sort of a warning. It's a warning, but it's also
I think the dragon was basically like saying no to the offer. It's like
no. Yeah. She's judging. She's saying that roar is saying a lot of things. Dragon's like, I could have killed you, but I ain't gonna do that, because maybe I'm a little better than you. You know what though? Yeah. You guys wait, all right? And then I felt that it's up to interpretation, but I just love how they kept it ambiguous. But I was also sad about the peasants there.
Yes, they just. I mean, there were so many people who were gathered in that hall, and that dragon took up like I don't know, like 25% of the space, which means like the moment it burst out, a lot of those people are dead.
You know, because I don't think that's an accident. Because remember what the White Worm said to Otto: you only have power that the people allow you to have, and that's why I think that line is. We talked about this on the last podcast. Is there's definitely something going on, like Game of Thrones season 6 thing, like those faith militant things.
Oh,
yeah, I think there's a lot of
zealots.
things going on there,
Yeah.
like because people will rise up if they fuck around enough.
And I think that's a great point, because I think it also shows, although we hadn't heard from Rhaenys or from other people, but Rhaenys also clearly shows that detachment.
Yeah.
From the common folks.
I agree. She didn't care. She's just, I mean, basically like a Roman patrician fighting the patrician wars.
And if I share my speculation based on what we experienced from Game of Thrones, we talked about a lot of these respectable attributes of Rhaenys and these people acting classy. I could have killed you, but I chose not to. I think this is what's gonna bring them their downfall. That's what's gonna get them killed. Because I'm pretty sure that someone else is not gonna give a shit. Like especially Aemond, I can clearly see that this guy has issues. Or I don't know, maybe Aegon. They're not gonna care about such classy acts.
No, I actually think Aegon is a big problem there. Because you compared him to Joffrey on the last podcast. We had some disagrees here, but I'm leaning towards this guy. First of all, this episode, I did feel bad for him though, because you know what he has that Joffrey doesn't? He's at least self-aware.
Oh, that's true.
That was interesting to me.
He clearly knows what he wants and what he doesn't.
Like not clearly. I think he just knows that he's not up for the job.
Oh, that's right. He also said that he was unsuited for.
Yeah, exactly.
He said it in his own words.
But I wouldn't say what you just said about him though, because in the carriage he asked his mother, "Do you love me?"
I love their answer though.
You imbecile. No, but that was like a confirmation of love. But what was surprising is he's a very insecure man. And I mean, and what was surprising is Aemond is insecure too. I felt Aemond himself. He was jealous of it, but he will do his duty. Because when Rhaenys' dragon came up, I liked the fact that it seemed to me that Alicent and Aemond were the least afraid, because Aemond does this battle stance almost, but Otto, being a bitch ass, is like, it's like weird, like shaky face. It's just gonna happen. Let's talk about the coronation. I love like all these close-ups to Alicent's family, and remember that line Alicent said, at how home you can throw your brother about, but to the outside world, we have to show family, right? But we get to look inside the Hightower family this time, right?
Yeah.
We see Alicent and Otto saying fuck you to each other. We see, I think Helaena is like, the way she looks at Aegon was kind of interesting to me. Because in the coronation, her face towards Aegon was like of certainty. Because that's not how I saw her before. Because she always talks in riddle, and she's like a shy woman. And Alice was like, "Oh my dear God," and she's like, "Don't touch me," and like, because
she was saying a lot of strange things. What did she say? There's a monster,
the beast under the board.
Beast under the board.
Yeah, and I think clearly the family members don't get her. But I did get this vibe. Hey, did you get that vibe? I got this vibe that she and Aemond are closer to each other than they are to Aegon.
Yeah, in a sense. But I think, judging from what Aemond said about Helaena when they were younger, I think he has more understanding of his sister than Aegon. Because Aegon clearly is not interested in anybody else.
And I like that Aemond is, I like that Aemond and Aegon are such different people. Because I liked Aemond, like he volunteered himself to find Aegon, and I like the scene with Alicent. Alicent is like, no, I don't want you to go, but he's like, don't worry,
Sir
mother.
Criston needs me.
Yeah, it's almost like he's the firstborn child. Like he's acting like the primogeniture, responsible.
I got knowledge that he doesn't.
Yeah. He's volunteering. Yeah, I like that about him, and it made me think that if he didn't lose his eye, he would have been a more regular guy.
That's true.
Like really,
that changed a lot of things for him.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Yeah, because you know what? Like because we've seen him from the younger days, I feel like he's a sensitive person. Like much more than I thought he was, and that was interesting, and that was good.
Another touch I liked about the Hightower family was Alicent's reaction to the king's death. We can clearly see that her love for Viserys was genuine. You can really see that she's weeping, and she's trying to hold herself together. Yeah, that's one thing I liked about her.
Oh, but Alicent, I think there's a great tragedy waiting because she believed that her husband wanted Aegon to be, and then we get the confirmation that she actually believes that stuff 100%.
Yeah, that's one thing I was worried about. We talked about this in the last episode,
but we as an audience know that that's not really what Viserys meant, and I think that's gonna come back to haunt her. And you know what's interesting though? I was surprised by the sexual nature of her relationship with two of her subordinates, Criston Cole and what's that feet lover?
Larys, the creepy dude.
Yeah. Because first of all, Criston Cole, I love the line that Queen says before she sends Aemond and him to look for Aegon. She's all your feeling towards the Queen. Yeah. It feels like there's a sexual thing going on there. Like she attracts these vulnerable men. I feel.
Yeah, and for the lack of better expression, she just completely pussy whips them.
Yeah. I mean, she's a manipulator in a way too, because I feel like, and you know what I like? I like that she's politically astute. You know how I know that? The fact that intentionally she says it's time to show the strength of House Targaryen, and he gives Aegon the crown. The crown of Aegon the Conqueror and the Blaze. So she knows the showmanship, and because you could argue that she's almost compensating for the lack of legitimacy here.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's a great thing you mentioned, because I also thought that was very interesting. She refers to Rhaenys as my cousin. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, when she said that, I was like, she's not your cousin.
Oh, she is.
I mean, that's what I thought.
No, but she is like the paternal cousin.
Yeah, but you're not her cousin. Her cousin.
No, but I do feel like she knows theater well. And she, what's interesting, she is holding the reign over her father. And I like that line where she's like, you use me. Huh? What did I know before I became queen? And I hated that Otto's line. Oh, you look like so much like your mother. I was like, kill him. I don't know if the actor, like, I love that Otto Hightower actor, by the way, but the way he said it was like, what the fuck?
But you could clearly see that although he lost that battle with his daughter, that he's like finding this new respect for his daughter. He's like,
no, but at the same time, it was kind of petty though to say that. Like, take the L. Like, it was like, I almost thought Alicent would say, "Okay, boomer," and then walk out. Like, whatever, Dad. Oh, I look like my mother. Fuck you. Whatever. Like, it's like a desperate attempt at control. But I do feel if it didn't solidify this before, I can tell that Alicent is the leader. Like she is the de facto leader of this faction. Like, Aegon may be king, but I agree. I was wrong about last time. I do agree with you now that when Aegon he's loving the fucking ceremony, I felt that this was dangerous.
Yeah, because. You know what that scene reminded me of? Remember that last scene of The Boys? Yeah. Where Homelander like bashes that libtard who threw something at his son, and he just lasers him. Yeah. And people cheer, and you can see that look from the son's eyes that he's actually getting this like encouragement
Yeah.
to do shit like this.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of felt from that Aegon scene, because up until the moment they started chanting his name, he was still. You could see even during the coronation that he was like kind of half-assed about the ceremony and everything.
Unsure.
Yeah, unsure. But the moment people start chanting his name, he was now like fully into it. He was like dashing his sword multiple times. He's loving it, and I'm kind of concerned that now we're gonna see another Joffrey moment.
No, but Homelander, that's a really apt comparison, Jin, because Homelander wants to be accepted in a way. He claims that he's a god and he's special, but he craves that love, because we get that in like season 3 with him talking to himself, right? Here, like we still know little about him, about Aegon. We might need more detail, but we do see somebody who's always insecure. I'll never be enough for you and father, and here he's asking, do you love me? But he's finally getting that love, which may validate his behavior that one of the Erryktons didn't like. Yeah, this guy is a piece of shit. He wanted to say basically he's a piece of shit. Like, this is a motherfucker.
Making children fight.
Yeah, that bastard over there with perfect Targaryen hair. Oh, watching that Aegon's bastard with Targaryen hair, I was like, Jesus, Rhaenyra, if only if the strong DNA was a little weaker and the silver hair won over the brown hair, there wouldn't be this problem.
That's right.
But your children just had to have the brown hair.
Sir Harrold, Strong was strong after all.
Yeah, Harwood Strong got that
strong genes.
That special Y chromosome. So fucking strong. Because it's so funny how those little things that to us as a modern audience might not seem like a big deal can affect so much.
And now I'm concerned that he will evolve into this monster that we saw from Joffrey. I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of sinister things, because so far we've already seen cases where Aegon lacks moral compass. Remember how he rapes his maids, and he just refers it as like a harmless fun. He's gonna do some fucked up things.
No, but here in this episode we see something worse. He's in Flea Bottom, and then they have children fighting each other, right? But I like the White Worm trying to end that. That was interesting. Yeah, she's like a Varys type.
And I think that's an interesting development of the character, because I think it's trying to establish the importance of the common folks, the people. And I'm pretty sure, like you said, the fact that a lot of these royalties are detached from the way the common folks think and behave is gonna lead to another tragedy.
No, but another interesting thing there was that I like the detail that Otto let that spy network intact, but it was that Larys idiot that attempted to kill White Worm. Because we see the villa burning, but I don't think she's dead at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is, White Worm and Otto had an agreement, but Larys tried to clap her. She might think, oh, these motherfuckers
tried to clip me.
They used me, huh?
Fuck these guys.
That was a mistake. And I think, we criticized Otto just now, but I do think that boomer generation also has a touch that these younger, ambitious guys don't have. Because he's smart enough to know that, it's better to keep this, better not to touch everything. Sometimes to use it.
And I also like the fact that Otto was smart enough not to degrade them or disrespect them in any way during the negotiation process. Because remember, she's part of the common folks.
Yeah.
She's a woman, and she demanded that she speak to the king of the hand of the king, face to face, and he had no problem with that.
No, because I think that's part of it. Because he's someone who's very pragmatic, I think, at heart.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked about him.
The thing you described, I don't think it ever mattered to him, because he was aware of the White Worm. Remember, they already had a relationship when White Worm sent the boy to say that Rhaenyra and Daemon had sex. So he may have never saw her, but he knows that she's useful. So that's something. But something that I didn't like about Larys was that, here's a man that reminds me of Ramsay Snow, because Roose Bolton was a cruel man, but it wasn't his hobby. You know what I mean? Everything needs to play a function. Yeah. And if you go scorched earth, you will make enemies. and like Larys' solution was to kill them, right? And we also see him like really unattractive in this episode. I think he tortured those handmaiden and stuff. Like it's never shown, but like all those guys brought to his like
the dungeon.
Yeah. It's, I mean, such cruelty is needed sometimes, but we see Larys maybe overdoing it a little.
And like you said, you compared him to the Boltons.
Ramsay Snow specifically.
Yeah, Ramsay Snow. But I think the problem with Larys in this episode is we mentioned this earlier, is that now because of what he did and what we see from the things he does, we can kind of tell that this guy is far from ambition, and he's just like working in a way controlled by his impulses.
Yeah, because we see that with the feet fetish.
Yeah, the feet fetish. What the fuck? I was like wondering, like what the hell's going on? I knew he was creepy when he was like I effing the queen in public places, but yeah, this is like a whole new level here.
No, but you could argue that Alicent is actually the one in control, though.
That's true.
Yeah, because that's how I felt. Because like
you can tell that she's disgusted, but she knows that through this that she can get what she wants.
No, but it's also another detail of her hypocrisy, though. Like, you know, because don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing Alicent alone. Everybody in the show is hypocritical. Rhaenyra too. You know, like flaunting her rules, as Alicent says. Like she was right about that too. But here we see Alicent's hypocrisy. You know, she claims that it was her husband's wishes, but she is clearly aware of Aegon's weird hobbies. She's letting it go because it's convenient for her, and she outside world, she's very religious, right? She said, like the last episode, we got to see her like design the red keep with all these religious symbols of the seven, and here she's tolerating a feet fetish motherfucker who jerks off there while torturing people, and she knows fully aware what's going on, but she's so like basically. She does the dirt, but I think one of the reasons why she acts so righteous, according to Rhaenyra, is because she's compensating for that a little. And I like how the show simultaneously makes us empathetic towards her.
Yeah.
But also is reminded of her hypocrisy. Because it's clear that she clearly believes Viserys wanted Aegon to be prince. Like there's like no question. It's like
it's like absolute certainty.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be, I mean, we keep bringing up the word tragedy, but that's going to come back to her, definitely. And, you know, this episode made me want to, like, can't wait to see the next episode because I want to see how Rhaenyra reacts now to all this.
And like you said, I think the next episode is only going to cover what's going on around Rhaenyra's compound. And maybe, like you said, it'll be called the Black Council. But I'm now curious what will happen to the Lord Commander. I mean, the former Lord Commander. I think just like Sir Barristan Selmy, he's going to defect to Rhaenyra. Yeah, he's going to go over there.
No, and I think Rhaenyra is going to think that the Hightowers killed him. Because remember, Beastberry, that awesome guy, everybody thought he was senile, but suddenly like, what the fuck? Fuck you all! Only the mother saw that, huh?
Treason.
You motherfuckers.
I've known Viserys longer than any of you.
I'm 76-year-old bitches. Like, he's suddenly so clear. Like, he's like... Yeah, so, like... See, like, I like that scene because, first of all, I love that guy. R.I.P. Mr. Beesbury. We loved you. But, that's the sad thing about Alicent is, like, even if Viserys, like, for the sake of argument, told Alicent clearly that, hey, I changed my mind, I want my son to be king. If you were the other side and heard Alicent say that, you wouldn't believe that shit. Like, even if it was true, you wouldn't believe that shit. You're like,
just
what?
So conveniently after, like, even Aegon doesn't believe it. Yeah. Like, after 20 years.
Yeah, and then Aegon sees the knife and he wants to believe it. A lot of the show has to do with, like, perception. I feel like these characters, the way they perceive the world, they want to bend it to the shape that they see, because that's Corlys, right?
Yeah.
Like he's clearly ambitious, and he's trying to do that, and every character does that. And Alicent just happens to be, this situation right here.
Another little touch I liked about the small council meeting was that I think apart from Mr. Beesbury and the black dude who tried to calm him down.
Yeah.
Everyone else I think they were all wearing green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. And Rhaenys at the end was wearing red and black. But it was, I don't know about that new guy who's like Alicent's threatened to send to the wall. I wish she did. But Thailand was the Lannister siding with Green makes sense because remember Viserys insulted them. Like they tried to marry Rhaenyra to Jason, but she rejected that, so that makes sense. But I do like Alicent's moral stance though, like Otto trying to kill Rhaenyra.
Yeah, and Alicent refusing to do so. And
I think you said it early in this podcast. Doing nice things come back to you. That's also a mistake, to be honest. Like politically speaking, because it's like asking for war. Like, come on, if you're Rhaenyra and you get a letter, oh, I'm sorry, my dear friend.
But your daddy just in his dying breath
just before he
said
died,
Aegon should be king.
No, remember how she's gonna read it. Oh, by the way, your dad just died. Oh, and by the way, he named your half brother successor. Oh, and by the way, mom, I just accepted.
Just so happens he said it just in his dying breath. And it just so happens I was the only one there.
And then it says lol, heart.
XOXO.
What the fuck? You can imagine Daemon reading it like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then dragons are gonna cause trouble.
Yeah.
But I am a little bit scared about that though. Like, cause I have this feeling that dragon on dragon violence is gonna be something really, really brutal here.
It's gonna be super, super brutal, causing a lot of also collateral damage.
Yeah.
We already saw in this episode, and it wasn't even in battle mode. It was just like waking up.
Yeah, because you know what? It reminded me a lot of Harrenhal. Like, because Harrenhal is basically Aegon Conqueror burned it because it used to be Harren's Hall, but he said fuck you. So I mean that fire damage is gonna cause some destruction. Because here we didn't get to see the fire damage. We saw her that
just moving around.
Yeah, that beautiful dragon roar. But if she decides to nuke that place, that's devastation right there. Because despite Game of Thrones season 8 being kind of sucky, I did like the dragon sequences though. Without the story, it looks awesome. Remember that that undead dragon melting the wall?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, son. That's some damage. So imagine that, and I think we're gonna get that. How is King's Landing gonna be okay? Jesus Christ. But anyway, this episode though, it wasn't the best for me though. I love the first 25 minutes.
I think it's because they suddenly had to start making a lot of progress with the plot, and I think it wasn't as tight as previous episodes. But overall, I like the new details on these characters, and I also love the last sequence with Rhaenys and the dragon. So I was happy with it, but like you said, it wasn't the strongest episode. I think it's like a stepping stone to the finale.
Yeah, I did find the middle thing a little boring though, because the intro scene was brilliant. The silence, the little boy messenger going to Talia, and then Talia going to the princess, and I like how she lit the candle to let the White Worm know that the king is dead. And then the first council meeting was amazing. The tension, you could feel the tension.
It also reminded me of that the movie about the subprime crisis. What was it called?
Oh, with
Margin Call.
Margin Call.
Yeah, Margin Call with Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
Remember they had that emergency board meeting in the middle of the night. That's what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. It was really tense, like, and you know what I loved about it? It was so treacherous. It was so treacherous. And
I loved Lord Commander's reaction to all the things that was like going on. He's like, you can clearly see from his face that he's like, and he says it out loud. Has it come to this? And this look of disapproval, and he's kind of like disgusted by what was going on. You know,
remember he did that too when episode 2 or 3 was it, when Daemon and Otto was fighting. He's like, am I gonna die over this silly shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, so like he's definitely like, I think he kind of represents us too, because he's like a regular dude in a way, and he's like hearing all these like murders and plots. He's just like sick of it, you know. And you know what's surprising though? I can't believe everyone is so selfish. Like, you know, Alicent could have said, well, you know, Rhaenyra was the heir for 20 years. You know, maybe I heard wrong, but she's like, no, Aegon, baby, Aegon. You know, it's funny how like people can find the smallest detail and like interpret it as like justification for all their behaviors, because it's really treacherous. It is. Like Otto, like plotting too, like. I didn't actually like that detail because it makes Otto very villainous.
Yeah, especially like the moment he said that you're not leaving this room until we have an answer.
Yeah, I also didn't like when he said, now we can move according to plan. Like I felt Otto was a little bit, I wish Otto was a little bit more actually empathetic and ambiguous.
Yeah, and what you said I saw from the last episode when Viserys wanted to have supper.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Otto was actually like really empathetic.
Yeah, having a good time.
Yeah, and he was trying to offer him the painkiller, the milk of the poppy, the drug. And he completely respects Viserys' wishes.
Oh,
you can clearly see that he had some sympathy for his pain.
Well, actually, that one I wasn't clear on, though, because already I was kind of like distrustful of him once he came back. But what I didn't like about this is when Viserys died, Otto says, Viserys the Peaceful, our king, our friend. I was like, damn, if you're a king, you never want your subjects to call you a friend. You know what I mean? I felt like as much as I love Viserys, I did continuously say he was wise. Maybe a little bit like beheading now and then could have been worked better. Like I don't know. I guess in modern society that's cool. Like CEO being a friend with an executive probably doesn't happen that often. But I was just like, you're a king and you're called a friend. Like fuck you.
We need Viserys to like wake up from the dead.
This is Egyptian shit.
And repeat that line he said to Aemond.
Yeah.
What did he say to Aemond?
Yeah.
Don't forget your place, Aemond. What did he say?
Lucerys is my trueborn heir, and
you're the second son of Driftmark.
You're Amelia's second son. Yeah, but anyway, overall, I think because this episode was like this, next episode, like the finale, is gonna blow our mind. I think they did the opposite thing. You know how in Game of Thrones, like episode 9 was the big fuck yeah, and then the last episode was the next season, what's gonna happen kind of episode. But I think this is the opposite. I think the next episode is like gonna be the episode 9 we know.
You know, I think it'll be really interesting if the last episode has a parallel to this one.
Yeah. And
in the end, we see the same situation where Aemond is on his dragon and he's like facing a completely vulnerable Rhaenys or someone from the Rhaenyra side, and he just burns him.
No, but I already saw the trailer. Like Vhagar is coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't know like what he's gonna do. But I do believe that the reason why it's set up this way is because the creators wanted this to be like, don't you want to see more? like Game of Thrones is back, baby. Please come back to us. HBO's like, come here, show us that you love us. And so I think that's why.
Forget season 8.
Yeah, season 8, whatever. Game of Thrones, baby. Well, it should this season should have been welcome back to Westeros, like with a
hashtag better than GOT.
Yeah, better than GOT. I bet it's those like HBO marketing guys spouting that shit. Like, but hey, before the finale, I would like to say this though. Like, I'm still not sure if this is. You can say this is better than Game of Thrones though, because remember, Game of Thrones is a body of work. There's like 8 seasons. Come on, like that's rare for a show.
Yeah.
And the first 4 seasons, brilliant.
I thought they were spectacular.
Yeah, brilliant
They're
television.
just so captivating.
Yeah. So for me, like, we'll have to watch the finale, but this season has been, in terms of quality, somewhere between season 2 and season 3 for me. But it's not season 4 yet, though. Because season 4 was like high octane shit.
That's right.
Like, it built on everything on the prior season and exploded. But we haven't got that much material yet.
Wait a minute. Is season 4 the part
The
where
Tyrion trial.
Oh, okay, that was season 4.
Yeah, with Oberyn. So, because that's been building up. What I mean to say is, if you want like a climax, you do need a lot of history and setup. But this is only 1 season, so we can't compare it to that level.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this is close to season 2 and season 3 is really complete. There's a lot of treachery, a lot of dramatic scenes,
and a lot of great characters.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I like how they're all very special and different, like the earlier Game of Thrones, because each character is unique. You know, here that's happening too, and that's why I love this episode. Like, because like last episode, a lot of the Hightowers seemed one-dimensional to me, and I did say we will have to see more of them.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they showed more. And you know what? I am still empathetic towards, like, I'm sympathetic towards Aegon though, because I'm glad like with such few lines we get to see that. He is a troubled person. I want to say like a psychopath. Like he's troubled. Like Larys is straight up psychopath. like if I was Alicent, I'm gonna show him my feet for now.
I would still see he's borderline psychopathic in a way, because you can clearly see this boy is not only troubled, but he lacks empathy. Especially like the last episode where he raped that girl.
Aegon?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. No, but Aegon, like,
harmless fun, my ass.
No, but I mean that's different though, because like that's like a master slave thing, like, so I don't know, I don't know. But here, you know, because Joffrey never got a line like "Leave me, brother," and then
that's true.
I'll sail away, I'll never come back.
Joffrey more was like a cardboard character.
Yeah. But here,
compared to Joffrey, Aegon, like you say, is a lot more gray.
But Aegon is sympathetic because we had that situation with Laenor. You know, being born in nobility is a privilege, yes, but there is also a ruthless patriarchy that wants to continue its power, which is shown by Otto. Because Alicent is also sympathetic when she says, "How the fuck do I know? I didn't know I had a choice. You basically she was saying you pimped me out to the king. I didn't know I had a choice, motherfucker. Fuck you." Like here, like we get to see Aegon in a similar situation.
Yeah.
But you know what's sad? Alicent is doing what her father did to her to Aegon.
Ah, that's true.
You know, that's why this episode, I watched it 2 times, was set up really right. I felt that because, again, this is Alicent's hypocrisy. You know, like, and that's why Rhaenys' line was so poignant, because she's like, "Oh, you toil in front of men, but all you want is a fucking window, huh?" But here,
instead of being free.
Yeah, but she is aware that her father used her, but she's willing to do the same to Aegon. Because you know, and what's sad is, I think she doesn't want to admit it, but she kind of knows that Aegon is unqualified. Like, she kind of knows. Like, you know how mothers can be, and mothers or fathers, like, they know their child, but they want to see the best part of them. But, you know, like, it's so funny that you slapped him in the previous episode. Yeah, you're no son of mine. Fuck, bro. And then Otto knows that Aegon is an incompetent douche. Because he's like all laid
Remember
up
when
drunk.
he was drunk?
Yeah.
I think he like kicks him or something?
Yeah, Otto kicks him. Like, Otto straight, like, helicopter grandfather. Like, I like
Get your shit together.
Yeah, I like that scene because that kind of explains why Alicent's parenting is that way. Like, because I know that she loves her children, but I don't think she's communicating properly.
Yeah.
Even that little scene with Helaena, you can tell, like, she's like, "Oh, my poor girl." She's clearly not listening to her. Because, like, I think Aemond might figure it out, though.
Yeah.
Because during the war, like, imagine if you have a prophet on your side. Like, it's like a Jedi thing. Like, oh, shit, she can tell the future?
Like an oracle.
Yeah, exactly. But I already know like Helena's gonna die horribly or something because in every Greek mythology there's always a Calypso or whatever woman that knows the future but can't stop it, and she's like kind of that archetype.
And I love the fact that they gave us screen time for her kids.
Oh, I hated it. You know why I hated it?
They're gonna die as well.
Yeah, exactly. The moment the camera zoomed to them, I was like, "Oh fuck!
They're gonna die. Oh, the babies! No!"
And then she says something along the line of, it's our destiny to want something from another. I was like, "Oh fuck!
Oh shit! There's a beast under the board. Was that like a referral to Rhaenys'
I'm not sure though.
Popping out?
No, but I'm not sure though, because remember,
maybe she saw the future.
No, but remember, like when she was young, she also said dragons of thread, dragons of red. Like, I'm not sure if that is it though. I think they may pay it off in like future seasons. Because like the thing about prophets, and also I would like to say this, like prophets are like. Game of Thrones taught us that it's up to interpretation. Like, you know how Melisandre keeps getting it wrong?
Yeah.
She's like, Stannis, you were the king that was promised, but it turns out it wasn't. And a lot of it is just blurred images and different words. And because, like, I don't understand what the fuck she's saying, to be honest. Like, Beast Under the Board, I honestly thought Beast Under the Board meant, like, Aegon's dick in the last, like, episode. No, seriously, like, because, she was like sharing his sexuality in front of the public, and Daemon laughed because of course he loved that shit. Like so, like I thought that was a warning towards like him having a lot of bastards, and we did see one bastard in this episode, but I don't know how that's gonna happen though, because Beast Under the Board could mean a lot of things. And honestly, I think the dragon is too noticeable, and see that's the problem with prophetic shit like that is because we just interpreted it.
Yeah.
Like beast could mean anything.
And we can just fit them into whatever we feel like.
Yeah. The only one she was very precise about was Aemond. Remember she said he'll have to close an eye. Oh. That one was 100% on the money. Because Alicent was like saying, you will get a dragon one day. And she was like, she'll have to close an eye, which no one was listening, by the way. But we as an audience was listening.
Oh, I got to look that up again.
Yeah.
I completely missed on that.
Yeah, so like she was 100% on the money. Like he was going to go blind to get Vhagar. But anyway, we shared a lot. Oh, man.
And finally, one last episode to go.
Yeah.
So far, it's been
I do
good.
want to credit the showrunners for making us invest in the show. I'm having a spectacular time.
Yeah, and I would also like to give props to all the actors. They're doing a fantastic job. A lot of these actors and actresses, I haven't seen them
in other shows before, right?
On the show before, but they're doing a fantastic job.
Olivia Cook is wonderful.
Yeah,
like the queen actress. Like, man, she's so hot and like queenly at the same time.
Remember, we talked about this. We saw her on Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
It just makes me forget completely of the character that she played in Ready Player One. It feels like a completely different person.
I loved it when she threatened that guy to send the wall, because I feel like that's gonna escalate.
Yeah.
Because like, you know what it is. I think it's a hint, because she's against Otto for going violence, right? But I think she'll have to
pay for that.
Like what I mean is, what I'm trying to say is she'll have to cross that line too, like inevitably, even if she doesn't want to. You know, she's gonna have to choose. I mean, you're already employing a feet fetish motherfucker who's a kinslayer. Like, utilize his full talents. And you know what? I want to thank Game of Thrones for actually killing all these psychopaths, because we know that Larys is gonna die. Like the moment he started jerking off to the feet, I know like, oh, you're gonna die around season 3 or 2 horribly. Like these motherfuckers tend to get got in this.
Yeah,
show.
Remember what happened to Ramsay Bolton? Maybe like a hound will eat his dick or something. I don't know.
No. Like something to do with feet probably. Like maybe cut off his feet and make him crawl. Or, make him eat his own feet. You know how Game of Thrones love to do this shit, like, to be poetic. Remember that needle guy got killed by the needle for stealing it? So here, like, something to do with feet, Like, he's going to die horribly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, he's one of the rare characters that the show intentionally gives us like zero empathy for. I have no empathy whatsoever.
We're all watching and silently to think this is motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gonna die because remember he kills his brother,
his
father.
And
he tortures people and he smiles while he does it.
And now he's jerking off the queen.
You know what's worse though? Like even this episode, like he played footsie with Otto. He's like, maybe what the meeting I had with the queen will help you too. I was like, motherfucker, are you trying to jerk off to Otto's feet now? What the fuck is going on? Like, do you have no limits, son? Like, so he's like this bizarre, like almost like a inhuman character. You know what I mean? Like a devil. But anyway, fuck him. But anyway,
no love.
Yeah,
no love for Larys, people.
No, but in his defense though, the actor plays it charmingly.
Yes,
like he's such a like a smart looking person. Like looking at the actor, you wouldn't assume that kind of violence. So he's kind of like a mixture of Littlefinger and Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, like
a little mixture. And I would say White Worm is actually an upgrade to Varys. Because she's like directly living with the people.
Yeah.
She's like one of those beggar queens, queen of the beggars kind of thing. I like that. I like that a lot about her. She's with the people and power among the people. And she's one of the few in the show so far that has shown a selfless act.
Yeah. I also like her accent. Kind of sounds like Jamaican or something.
Yeah. It's like this weird
intriguing.
fusion of Asian and like I like it a lot. That actor is in that AI movie.
Which one?
Which one is the one where? Which one is the one where X-Men Apocalypse is this crazy scientist and he brings a guest and there's these two androids. One of them is trying to
Ex Machina.
Yeah, Ex Machina.
Oh, that was a brilliant movie. She was the secretary kind of lady.
Yeah, secretary.
Yeah, I remember.
She was there.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah, she has a very, I think,
like an ambiguous face. Like
I would say,
kind of like Vin Diesel. You're not exactly sure if she's like Asian or Hispanic.
Okay, that was not what I was told to say.
Okay.
I was trying to say she has this. I think like a no, that was funny. Like a like a model face. You know how like she's beautiful, but not in a like a sexual way. She almost looks really, really different. You know what I mean? That artistic thing, like Tilda Swinton thing going on there. Yeah.
The kind of also like neutral at the same time.
No, not neutral, but like you know how
because the moment you say Tilda Swinton, I just remind myself like neutral.
No, but like what I'm trying to say is like she's not traditionally beautiful, but there's something very, very like odd about her, how she looks, like the proportion, which makes it beautiful. You know, she has that face. I like that about her.
So now that we only have one episode left, I wish in the future seasons that we will see a new side to these characters. Remember how in Game of Thrones we all hated Jaime Lannister, but after a couple seasons, everybody loved him.
No, but I think the biggest hint is actually Daemon's line about depravity. I think we're gonna see all these people fucked up. Like all these people do things that they didn't want to do, but will do, and some of them will like it, and some of them won't. My guess is Alicent is gonna love that stuff more than she wants to admit.
Yeah, and my guess is Aegon is gonna go full throttle on this shit.
You mean
we're gonna see a lot of atrocities by Aegon? I can just tell.
The king?
Yeah, he's gonna do a lot of fucked up shit.
Possibly, and that's gonna be like a moral judgment to the Hightowers. Like
I'm pretty sure he's gonna have the same fate as Joffrey. Someone's gonna fucking kill him.
No, but we know that from I think Game of Thrones, because Stannis' daughter says they all die or something.
Oh.
Yeah. None of this is a happy ending. Like, because I'm assuming, because I like that Rhaenys spared them, because the show is being horrible. You know, like a death by fire is the purest death. Remember that line? I was like, man, you guys are gonna wish that you died from the fire later. I seriously think that
is so true.
The show is toying with us that you're gonna wish that we burned them alive there.
In the end of episode 9 of season 1.
Yeah, remember the show?
You wish you burned.
Yeah, remember the show shows a lot of body horror and torture. So there are, like, especially Otto. I feel like Otto's gonna get clapped real bad. Like, I think like if Daemon gets a hand on him, He's gonna like get flayed alive or something.
You know, Tywin Lannister died taking a shit.
I mean, we talked about that last time, but I think they're just horrible ways to die in this like universe.
Maybe Alicent will kill Otto.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a patricide.
I think so. Maybe what I mean by I think so is not necessarily that, but like family among family violence, I think is very possible here. Like especially Aemond, like Aemond. You know, if something were to happen to his brother, like he gets to be the king, right?
Oh, I forgot to mention that part where Aegon begs Aemond to let him go so that he can sail on a ship that
we talked about
yeah, and he would never return.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that Aemond, you can tell that he was seriously considering of letting him go in that brief moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that touch.
Aemond is my favorite now because I think he's much more sensitive than I thought he was, and he's that detail I like. That detail I like a lot. You know, and it's also a thing. You know how like in Game of Thrones you mentioned Jaime Lannister. You know why that's impressive is because to the outside world he's known as a piece of shit,
Kingslayer.
Yeah, but we get to see his private moments and kind of see that he's actually much gray. And in some areas, honorable, you know, because his favorite line is, "How dare a wolf judge a lion? He judged me the moment he laid his eyes on me." And we were like, "Damn, Ned, maybe you fucked him up." Like,
yeah, that's right.
He was kind of justified.
And remember, Jaime Lannister had a lot of respect for Ned Stark.
Yeah. And he said something impressive, like if your king, your precious Renly, ordered you to burn 1,000, would you do it? So it's like the ambiguity here, and I think that they're gonna mention that here again.
His time with Brienne was one of the best moments of Jaime.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that wraps up our take on episode 9.
So
we will be here.
One more episode to go.
Next episode to share our thoughts on the finale, which is coming, and what we expect from season 2. I hope they drop a lot of hints about what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you told me there's a rumor that what happens in the last episode has been leaked, so people be careful of spoilers.
No. The episode has been leaked. The full episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch out for spoilers.
Watch out for spoilers. But then again, this is originally book, so I'm pretty sure some people already know what's going to happen. Like, because I skimmed through the book, so I don't remember all these details. But the real diehard fans probably already know.
I've never read the book.
They just probably don't know how it happens. You know what I mean? Because the book is basically like a chronology. So anyway. We'll see you next week. This has been Joji Movie So Awesome. I was Joe.
I was Jin.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching.